Have you ever had a project that went out of control? Suddenly, what seemed manageable becomes an unrecognizable monster. Welcome to the world of scope creep. Now, you may be asking, what exactly is scope creep? In the realm of project management, scope creep refers to uncontrolled changes or continuous growth in a project's scope. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, gathering more snow and momentum as it goes until it becomes an avalanche. It's a change that starts off small, perhaps an added feature or a minor alteration, but it can quickly escalate into something much larger and often much more problematic. Scope creep can happen to any project, regardless of size or complexity. It's like a stealthy intruder, often slipping in unnoticed until it's too late. One minute you're on track, and the next you're dealing with a project that's grown beyond its original boundaries. But why is it so important to avoid scope creep? Well, let's think about it this way. Imagine you're baking a cake. You have your ingredients, your recipe, and you're ready to go. But then someone suggests adding more flavors. So you toss in some extra chocolate, maybe a handful of nuts, and before you know it, you're out of ingredients, your cake is overflowing, and you've spent way more time and money than you planned. That's scope creep. In the context of project management, scope creep can lead to overworked teams, missed deadlines, and budget overruns. It can turn a well-planned project into a chaotic mess, leaving everyone feeling frustrated and demoralized. And let's not forget the impact it can have on client relationships, especially when projects don't deliver as promised. But here's the good news. Scope creep is not an invincible beast. With the right knowledge and tools, you can keep it in check and ensure your projects stay on track. Throughout this video, we'll be diving deeper into how to manage and avoid scope creep. Scope creep can lead to overworked teams, missed deadlines, and budget overruns. But don't worry, we're here to help you steer clear of this project menace. To avoid scope creep, we first need to understand scope management. So what exactly is scope management? In the simplest terms, it's a strategy used to define and control what's included in a project. It's a roadmap that guides you from that initial idea through to the project's completion. It's about setting clear, achievable goals and making sure everyone involved in the project understands what those goals are. But it's more than just a roadmap. It's a process that involves identifying requirements, defining objectives, and establishing a plan. It's about making sure that everything that needs to be done is included, and that nothing that isn't necessary gets added along the way. Why is it so important, you might ask? Well, without effective scope management, a project can quickly go off the rails. Without a clear plan, it's all too easy for a project to grow beyond its original boundaries, leading to increased costs, longer timelines, and a final product that doesn't meet the project's objectives. That's what we call scope creep, and it's something every project manager wants to avoid. Scope management helps to ensure that doesn't happen. It keeps the project focused and on track. It ensures that everyone knows what's expected of them and when. It helps to prevent misunderstandings and miscommunications that can lead to unnecessary work. And perhaps most importantly, it helps to ensure that the project delivers on its promises. So how does it help in setting clear, achievable goals for the project? By laying out a clear plan from the outset, scope management helps to ensure that everyone is on the same page. It helps to set expectations, ensuring that everyone knows what's expected of them. And by defining the project's boundaries, it helps to keep the project focused and on track, ensuring that the final product meets the project's objectives. In conclusion, scope management is an essential tool in any project manager's toolkit. It's the process that helps to ensure that a project stays on track, that it meets its objectives, and that it delivers on its promises. Effective scope management is the key to keeping your project on track and avoiding scope creep. Now that we understand the importance of scope management, how do we go about it? Here are some easy steps. Firstly, we start with defining the scope. This is a crucial step where we outline the project's boundaries. It involves detailing what the project will deliver and what it won't. It's like drawing a line in the sand that tells us what's in and what's out. By defining the scope, we set clear expectations and give a direction to our project. Once we have defined the scope, we move to the next step, creating a work breakdown structure, or WBS. This is a hierarchical decomposition of the total scope of work to be carried out by the project team to accomplish the project objectives and create the required deliverables. It helps in breaking down the scope into manageable chunks, each with its deliverable. This way, it's easier to manage, assign, and track. Now comes the phase of validating the scope. This is where we check if we are on the right track. It involves comparing the work performed with the planned scope. It's like a checkpoint where we ensure that the deliverables meet the requirements specified in the project scope. Lastly, but certainly not least, is controlling the scope. This is an ongoing process that involves monitoring the status of the project and product scope and managing changes to the scope baseline. It's like the steering wheel of a car, guiding us in the right direction and keeping us on course, ensuring we don't veer off the planned path. These steps provide a structured approach to managing scope and can significantly reduce the chances of scope creep. However, it's important to remember that these are not one-time activities. They need to be revisited throughout the project lifecycle, ensuring that the project stays on track and delivers the expected results. Remember, managing scope is an ongoing process. It doesn't end once the project starts. There are several tools and techniques that can assist you in scope management. Let's delve into some of these. First off, we have project management software. This is a digital tool that helps you keep track of all the elements of your project. It allows you to define the scope, set milestones, and monitor progress. Project management software ranges from simple task tracking systems to complex solutions that integrate resource allocation, cost management, and risk analysis. Another critical tool in your arsenal should be the scope statement. This is a document that clearly defines what is and isn't included in the project. It's a roadmap that guides the project's direction, helping everyone involved understand the project's boundaries. The scope statement should be detailed and precise, leaving no room for ambiguity. It's a living document, meaning it should be updated as the project evolves and new information becomes available. Let's not forget about the work breakdown structure, or WBS. This tool breaks down the project into smaller, manageable parts. It's a visual representation of what needs to be done, making it easier to understand the project's scope. The WBS helps you allocate resources, estimate costs, and identify potential risks. Change control systems are also essential in scope management. These systems ensure that any proposed changes to the project scope are thoroughly reviewed before they're approved. They help maintain control over the project's scope, preventing unnecessary changes that could lead to scope creep. Moreover, regular scope reviews can be beneficial. These periodic check-ins help ensure that the project is staying on track and within its defined scope. It's an opportunity to identify any potential scope creep early and take corrective action before it becomes a larger issue. Finally, stakeholder communication is key. Regular, clear communication with all stakeholders helps manage expectations and keeps everyone on the same page regarding the project's scope. These tools can make scope management easier, but remember, they're just tools. The real work lies in your hands. We've talked about what scope creep is and how to manage scope. Now, how do we avoid scope creep? As you've probably gathered by now, scope creep can be a sneaky little intruder, creeping into your projects and causing all sorts of chaos. But fear not, there are several strategies you can use to keep it at bay. Firstly, setting clear objectives is crucial. Define the project's scope in no uncertain terms, outlining what is and isn't included in the project. This will give you a solid foundation to refer back to whenever there's a question about what should be part of the project. Secondly, manage change requests effectively. Change is inevitable in any project, but it's how you manage these changes that can make or break your project. Have a formal process in place for handling change requests and make sure everyone knows how it works. When a change request comes in, assess it carefully. Consider how it fits into the project's scope and whether it's really necessary. And remember, it's okay to say no if a change doesn't align with the project's objectives. Thirdly, maintain good communication with stakeholders. Keep them in the loop about the project's progress, any changes that are made, and how these changes affect the project's scope. Transparency is key here. If stakeholders understand the reasons behind decisions, they're more likely to support them. And finally, don't forget to document everything. Every decision, every change request, every conversation about the project's scope. Documentation provides a valuable record that can help you stay on track and avoid scope creep. Avoiding scope creep is not just about rigidly sticking to the plan. It's about managing changes effectively, keeping everyone informed, and making decisions that align with the project's objectives. It's a balancing act. But with careful planning and clear communication, you can keep your project on the right track. Avoiding scope creep is all about planning, communication, and control. With these strategies, you can keep your project on track and deliver successful results.